Yeah, we'll be obviously watching this very closely for the next couple of days. We'll be here with you night and day to help talk with you and through this system as it continues to move toward the Bay Area. We've been watching it, Julian, and it looks like, and especially on radar, and this is an important point to make, as I learned with several hurricanes, is that when you actually get land-based radar to actually observe it, you can notice those changes a little bit better. Satellite is awesome and it's excellent, but when you actually can use radar, as we're using Key West Doppler radar to actually see this storm, we can actually see it just a little bit clearer. So we did notice maybe just a little bit more of a northwesterly turn, and we've been waiting for that turn around the western side, haven't we?
Absolutely. We've been waiting for that for days now because, of course, that northerly turn is going to depend upon where that track moves up the state of Florida. So we've been watching that eye right along the northern coast of Cuba, and you can see probably within the last hour or so, we noticed that little bit of a northern jog. Still has that westerly component, so not moving north yet, but moving a little bit northwesterly, it looks like. As of the official 2 p.m. update from the National Hurricane Center, though, this is moving west at about 9 miles per hour, pressure 941 millibars, and maximum wind sustained at 125 miles per hour. And that's been due to some interaction with Cuba, has weakened the storm since yesterday. And the latest track that came out, we'll show you that. You can see expected to intensify a bit as we head towards tomorrow, and this storm potentially makes its landfall in the Keys.
It's moving across the Keys, and they've ordered evacuations there, and we've heard local officials say there, media saying it's like, this may not be a survivable situation down in parts of the Keys with the type of storm surge they've seen. With Wilma in 2005, the storm passed 75 miles to the north, and it actually flooded a lot of Key West as it passed the storm. I think it was a Category 2 or 3 at that point. So that just gives you the idea, the kind of inundation and the susceptibility to the low levels that they have in the Keys for areas to flood. So this will be pretty brutal, especially on the eastern side, but also with that counterclockwise motion. It could also push, if there is an island, depending on where the landfall takes place, you might even see kind of a northern surge with the stronger winds coming back from the north, pushing to the south around the western side of the system.
Yeah, definitely a very serious threat setting up for the Keys, and then the system, while on the current track, continues to make its way to the north-northwest, maintaining strength. You know, it's going to be moving over warm Gulf waters at this point. Not a lot of shear it's going to be facing at that point. We're expecting it to still be a Category 4 storm. And the latest track that came in at 11 a.m. had this storm approaching maybe near the Fort Myers area, but it's still not exact. Some folks have been asking, could it shift a little? And of course it could, because it depends on the northerly turn. You notice the cone gets more narrow, though, as we get closer to the event. So it looks like at this point we're looking at potentially another landfall in southwest Florida near Fort Myers.
And we've been saying this for several days, that this track will shift. We've been saying every time we show you the track is it's going to change, this will change, and this may change. And it, however it changes, as we've learned throughout the week, can affect the Bay Area and different parts of the Bay Area in different ways. The eastern side is typically the stronger wind part of the storm because it's the advancing part. But as it gets farther west, that's when we start to get concerned about water issues, and in particular down in Charlotte Harbor there, southward facing areas where we get this surge of water. They're talking about a storm surge over 10 feet in some of these areas, and as we move up the coast and the storm has maintained some strength, and you've seen over the past couple of days, you see that Monday position there at 8 a.m. with 115 mile per hour winds. Well, that was 2 days ago, the Hurricane Center had forecast a tropical storm in that location. And that's because conditions change and forecasts change. We understand that. But that's what we're telling you about. Things can change with this storm over time, and with the winds coming northwest and then west around the center of the storm toward the coastal areas, into rivers, bays, inland areas, that can slow even the high tides trying to come back out again, and that's where you have the flood. And we'll show you the graphic about the high tides to give you a rough idea, but you really have to watch those high tides, especially on Monday. Of course, the concern before that would be wind primarily and some coastal flooding, but wind primarily, and especially in areas just east of the center of the storm where it's actually going to pass. And right now we have the rough area where the center part of it would pass in this forecast, and that can change, as we always say. The eastern side, we're talking about Polk County, sections of Hillsborough County, and we're talking about gusts when we're in the Category 3 range of 100 miles per hour, even plus in some areas. Certainly hurricane force, which is above 70, say 5 miles per hour. And that can be quite scary, dangerous, and destructive, but you add to that additional winds, and that can be very destructive.
And, you know, the exact impacts will depend on, again, as the exact track gets narrowed down. We have a pretty good idea right now, but you'll notice our spaghetti models in pretty good agreement. At this point, as of today, we're expecting it to roll through near the Fort Myers area and then continue that turn north and moving right through the Tampa Bay area, kind of right through the heart of us is where most of the models are aligned at this point. Now, we know these models can change, of course, over the course of days, but at this point, they are in agreement with that. And we've been seeing that shift. You know, a couple of days ago, it really looked like it was almost going to move up the East Coast. Even now, it's the exact opposite. And a lot of folks are wondering what caused that. And again, it's all due to this area of high pressure out to the east of us.
That big ridge that extends out into the Atlantic, and kind of the western edge of it kind of nudges back toward the state of Florida. And we're also watching the trough to the north as well, a low pressure trough. And what the storm is doing is looking for that weakness around the western side. How strong is it? How weak is it? The weaker it is, the quicker that it would turn to the north. But in this case, as we've seen, that ridge was perhaps a little bit stronger than the computer models thought. And that's why the track has slowly shifted west. But if you think about it, we were talking about this 4 or 5 days out, and the track was across the state, and it's still across the state. So they've been fairly consistent within, say, you know, within 100 miles. But, you know, within 2 days out, the historical average for an error is 90 miles. 90 miles.
Right.
So when you look at these tracks, know that there's still a lot of error. These tracks are not perfect, these forecast tracks, these computer models. So that's what's the difficult part, is living with the uncertainty of that track. But this is the current track, and these are the effects.
And you can see then kind of takes a turn north and then kind of very quickly loses its intensity as it heads into the southeast, kind of in the long term. And of course, hurricane warnings have been posted for the entire Tampa Bay area. At this point, we are pretty certain that every county in the Tampa Bay area is going to feel those hurricane force winds. They are going to see the heavy rain from this. And, you know, we also have the threat of isolated tornadoes as this storm passes as well within those rain bands that whip around.
And you can find that hurricane guide on our WFLA.com website. And you can look up your area and see what kind of flood zone that you're in. Many people don't know. We always urge people, especially if you live on the water, to know this information so you don't have to rush to see it on a day when a hurricane is threatening. But if you haven't seen that and know that, that's a good place to find out, and then make your choice to evacuate. And obviously the local officials are urging evacuations, and they have orders in some areas.
And that is a very good point to bring up. You know, a lot of folks, I think, had to learn their evacuation zone with this storm. I know in our phone bank we had so many people calling wondering what evacuation zone they were in. So it's a very important thing to know. And of course, we want to break it down to you county by county because, again, I know it is, you want to know kind of what's going to happen at your area. So right now in Highlands-Hardee County, we are expecting hurricane force winds, gusts possibly over 100 miles per hour, depending upon where the exact track is, and expect very heavy rainfall. It looks like at this point you'll be on the eastern side of the storm, so 8 to 12 inches of rain is a pretty easy estimate, and then tornadoes, they're going to be isolated in the bands for all of us. Of course, no surge threat in Highlands and Hardee County since you're away from the coast.
Yeah, I want to say a word about tornadoes. They're really common in hurricanes. You'll likely see a tornado watch, as you've seen across the southern part of the state. And what you have with these rain bands, and I've seen these, and I've been in them in hurricanes as they spin off the center, they're very violent. If not just the winds, but also the wind shear within these tight little rain bands that spin off the center, and they kind of roll off the center of the hurricane and kind of get a life of their own, especially on a day when the sun is out and you're getting some heating of the day enhancing it. You'll see quite a bit of wind shear. I remember that clearly with Charlie. So that will be a hazard on ahead of the storm likely. Yes, you can see tornadoes within the actual or close to the eye of the hurricane, but primarily these are these rain bands that come off, and that'll be our large threat. So we'll have to watch for that possibility as well, probably some starting later tonight into and throughout the day tomorrow.
Yeah, and we'll go through a few more counties for you. Pinellas, again, a high risk of seeing strong winds, hurricane force, gusts over 75 miles per hour. These are sustained, which you can expect through a long portion of the storm. But if we have this Category 4 storm moving, you can expect those gusts to be 90, 100 miles per hour at times. Rain, maybe a little bit less if you're still on the western side of the system, 6 to 10 inches of rain. And the surge threat is increasing for Pinellas County, so make sure you're aware of any evacuation zones there.
There's many places in Pinellas County that are high and dry, even in a Category 5 hurricane. Up around Palm Harbor, west of downtown St. Petersburg, those areas would not flood even in a worst-case scenario, but there are a lot of areas susceptible, places like St. Petersburg and north of St. Pete, Shore Acres, etc., that are susceptible to not only just high tides, but also a storm surge and just water coming into the bay. If we talk about 5 to 8 feet of water that might be on Monday on the backside of the storm, and that prevents a high tide from coming back out, those areas areas are definitely susceptible to flooding. So if you're in one of those areas, know that that will exist not just through the storm, but also carrying probably throughout the day on Monday until we get this thing out of here to the north.
And again, you're right. It is very dependent upon where within Pinellas County you are. I have family in Seminole and Treasure Island, two completely different places. Seminole, of course, parts of Seminole not in a flood zone, Treasure Island and Zone A. So it all depends on where you're located. And then we also have Manatee and Sarasota County. Again, winds here, you're going to be closer to the landfall, 70, 100 mile per hour winds. Also some moderate coastal flooding there. Hillsborough as well. High winds, moderate coastal flooding, especially in the bay now.